Okay, I'd say the first thing you need to do is to know who you're targeting. There's a lot of space for visual content creation. There's blogs, there's music artists, there's corporate companies, and within that space, I mean, corporate companies have different things that they need in terms of visual content creation. You find that there's a commercial space, and then there's the events that they do, there's activations that they do, and so forth. So I think it's about identifying the space that you feel like you can sort of enter. I mean, I'll tell you now, commercials for a lot of companies are done through agencies that then work with certain companies that already have their own directors. So work trying to get those is a lot harder when you're starting out. But you'll find that there's a lot of companies that have a more of an open space to do different things in terms of when they're having an event or an activation, or even if it's just like a quick promo video for a documentary or something. I wouldn't call them a client per se, but we have worked with Alan Gray. As a company that's only been running for about 5 years, I don't. It's not something that would be expected that you'd work with a company that big in terms of doing something in the visual content creation side of things. So obviously it wasn't a commercial. So that what I'm saying is we kind of targeted companies and went in. What we did on my side is we went into a space where we tried to find what we can do for companies, what they don't know that they need. So a lot of companies need internal videos that they need to put out information to the rest of their staff. And that's how we approached Alan Gray, and that's how we got that. So we've been doing that for a few companies. So the advice I'd give is identify your space and take it. Okay, as a visual content creator, which is what we do, you've got a lot of sort of space to work in. You've got a lot of things that you can do. I'll start with photography. We do club photography mainly, but you can do that's event photography in its own way. That's clubs, festivals, and all that. And then you do get corporate clients who also want photography. You get clients that want photos for their website and stuff. And then there's a space that a lot of people haven't really thought about, but then it's actually been working out pretty well now. That's stock photography. So when you go, when big companies or big news companies, and I mean big news media companies are looking for photos of like Cape Town and stuff, they actually pay for that. They don't just download it and use it. So a lot of people don't know that a lot of Africa hasn't been covered. So there's actually a move right now where people are there's a website that's starting out and they're trying to get as much content of Africa as possible, photography and videography, so that these companies can then use it. And a lot of when it comes back going back to video, a lot of Hollywood films are also doing the same thing. Doing the same thing now. Instead of having to come down to film in Africa, if they're shooting Africa, they're just getting stock video footage that's already out there. So creating that is a whole nother space that people can work in. With videos as well, there's music videos, there's event videos, there's when I say corporate videos, that's pretty much company profiles and stuff. There's corporate videos in terms of conferences and all. There's there's a lot. There's promotional videos for artists' albums. There's EPK videos. There's I mean now with radio is also becoming visual in a way through their websites and social media and stuff. So there's also a way to start creating videos in a space that people didn't ever do videos. So newspaper companies as well are no longer just newspapers. They've got a news website as well. Magazines are also starting to do that. So yeah, there's a lot. Okay, there's different ways to go about it. One would be to get a team involved and have your pretty much your pre-production team, your production team, and your post-production team. That could be one person. If you're starting out, you could be the one that does the concepts, the one that shoots, the one that edits, and the one that delivers the product. So it could just be you. But at the end of the day, you need to have a full working structure from when a job comes in, because some clients don't know what they want. They think they do, but they don't. They're just like, we need a video to market this, and then you need to sit down and conceptualize how you're going to do that. and then there's a delivery of it as well. When you're on set, obviously you do need a whole team. You need a sound person, the camera people, you need a director. But again, sometimes it can just be you, depending on the size of the job. So that's the resources in terms of the people. And then in terms of equipment, there's the reason I say there's two ways to go about it is you could buy the equipment. You could buy your cameras, you could buy your lights and your sound equipment. That's usually the three main things that work out. What camera are you using, what lighting, and do you need sound? If it's a music video, you usually don't. You know what I mean? Things like that. But how we've gone about it, because of how many different things we do and the way they differ, the requirements and everything, how we've gone about it is we haven't bought equipment because the job we do this week might need a Red. It's a very expensive camera. It might need a Sony FS700, and then next week it's just an event video that needs a Canon 5D. So if you buy one of those cameras, it won't really work in all the spaces, and then you're going to end up still renting out cameras. You know what I mean? So personally, I do have a camera, but for as a company, we'd rather just bill it on the invoice and rent out a camera because it works for that job. So I would say you could actually start this. You can start a visual content creation company without any resources. I think what's important to keep a visual content creation company running, or what's important to keep it growing, is delivery. And I always say we don't overpromise and we don't underdeliver, because at the end of the day, if someone comes through with their 2,000 rand budget for a video that's supposed to be 20,000 rand, if you say yes, it's you're never going to be able to deliver it the way it's supposed to be. So at the thing that you should do is promise what you can deliver and deliver all the time, consistency. So I believe that the most important thing is consistently delivering, so that the people that you've worked with can go out and tell other people that this is the person that did my video. I've been forgetting to mention wedding videos and stuff like that. I mean, once I shoot your wedding, your friends that are going to see that wedding video are all going to ask who did that wedding, and they're going to come through. Wedding videos, I believe, are one of the fastest spreading fires when it comes to spreading the word, because again, it sticks in the family. So your sister's probably going to want me to shoot her wedding video, and then her cousin, like it keeps moving like that. So yeah, I think consistency is a very key part of maintaining a visual content creation company, or any company for that matter.